Welcome to Podnutz Daily for July 3rd, 2008. Another incredibly slow day today. It must be because of the holiday. A lot of sitting around today, twiddling our thumbs. But we got some things done. So here's what we got done. Had a Dell Dimension come in today. Probably a 2004 or 5 model, probably 2004. Celeron. And it was only had 256 megs of RAM. She said it was running slow. That was the main problem with it. Well, we took a look at it. We ran our normal cleanup procedures. Also, we did Schmidt fraud fix. We ran CCleaner, dial a fix just for good measure, and our normal scans. Not too much spyware on the machine, but we did find some stuff. Now, Internet Explorer was running at 99% whenever we started it, even when it wasn't hooked up to the internet, meaning 99% of the CPU usage would crank up to 99% every time we started IE7. One way to just wipe out and make sure you get rid of whatever browser hijacks you have going on, especially in Internet Explorer 7, this is a great feature, is to go to the Tools, Internet Options. On the Advanced tab, you have a choice to reset the browser to factory settings, which is a button. You just sit down there, it says reset, and it just takes everything back to manufacturer settings. That usually wipes everything out, and that's just a quick way of getting your browser back in good shape. And Internet Explorer version 6 did not have that, so that was a huge pain when that happened. So good thing on 7 you could do that. I use Firefox personally, but almost all my customers come in with Internet Explorer, so... Anyway, so we did that. Computer looked okay. After a minute or a couple minutes of running, after a boot, it ran fine. But here's the thing. She had Norton 360 installed. And even though all the spyware was gone, no viruses, we upgraded the RAM from 256 to 512. Every time we started this thing, it would take 3 or 4 minutes before the computer would calm down enough that we could actually use it and use it quickly. So... we called her. She had 22 days left on her Norton 360. We called her and, advised her we'd like to put AVG on it if there's not a lot of real heavy internet use that you're doing. And she said she was the only person that used the machine, so it's not like she was all over the place on the internet. She seemed pretty responsible. So we just recommended AVG. We took Norton 360 off. It sped up the computer immensely. She has a good, solid AVG antivirus-free version on there. And... it makes us look good when we can get the computer running faster. So anything to do that, we do. And killing Norton a lot of times, really, really gives you results. I talked about it yesterday and today. It's just, it might do. I think Norton overprotects your computer, and that's fine, but it just does it at a bad expense of slowing up your machine. Second computer came in today was a bit interesting. I haven't had this particular thing before. It was a customer I had last month. She said her computer was running fine for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden it started beeping on her. Now, she brought it in for a spyware antivirus cleanup, or a spyware and virus cleanup. So we did that. Usually the only time the computer beeps is when you have a hardware problem, like a memory problem. So what we did was, the first thing she did when I came in is I blew out all the dust out of the machine, which we do always. That's always one of the first things I do is I always clean out the machine, make sure all the dust or any foreign objects sitting in the case there are just blown away. And I reseated her memory while she was sitting right there. I reseated the memory, turned her computer on, it worked fine. Now, she was amazed that it was working, and I thought that we fixed it. And we ran it for about 5 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden the computer froze and couldn't do a thing with it. So I'm like, that's odd. So I said, we're going to have to keep it for a while. I wrote her up, claim check. She left, and so I could really sit down and take my time with the machine. I didn't know quite what it was, so I just reseated the memory again, put it in another slot, started it up, did the same thing or something. No, actually, this time it started up, ran for a while, then rebooted itself. I checked the motherboard, made sure there's no blown capacitors, made sure the computer was solidly, the heatsink was solidly set onto the CPU, everything was tight, everything looked good. Third time I tried it after the reboot, we couldn't even get video. No video, no nothing. So I suspected it was a motherboard problem. And what I usually do when I think it's a motherboard problem is I start taking pieces off of the motherboard piece by piece, trying to eliminate maybe something else is wrong that's causing the computer to act this way, hoping it's not the motherboard. So first thing I actually did was I took the video card out, and I used the onboard video. She had like a little upgraded video card for gaming and stuff for her kids. And I took the video card out, hooked up the onboard video, computer ran fine. So I put another video card in, that video card ran fine. So she had a bad video card, and it was causing her computer, I guess, to beep, and then to reboot itself in the middle of nothing, and then also just to have hang-ups. It was just hanging up, and then the computer was just running slow in general. We replaced the video card to handle all those things. So symptoms can be, what I'm trying to say here is symptoms can be the same for different problems. I mean, a computer beeping could be your video card, could be the memory. A computer running slow, it could be spyware, it could be a hardware problem. It's like there's so many things you could check, but you just got to get good at narrowing down what it could possibly be. Once you know it's a hardware problem, then you say, okay, which piece of hardware? And you go through process of elimination. Because it was such a slow day today, I know I feel like I've only been talking for about a minute. That's all I have about computers. That I did today. Colin called in yesterday, or it might have been today, and he left a message relating to Mark's message that he left yesterday about the blue screen of death screensaver. Listen to Colin's call, and then I'm going to clarify it. Colin, I hope you don't mind me playing this. Okay, here we go.
Hi Steve, this is Colin from Scotland. I'm calling about the blue screen of death screensaver that was on the show the other day. That is actually a perfectly harmless screensaver that comes from sysinternals, which are now actually part of Microsoft. You can actually download the screensaver from Microsoft's website, and that's Blue Screen Screensaver 3.2. Yeah, it's just a simple screensaver that cycles through the blue screen of death and shows you a fake XP loading screen. To get out of it, you can either press the escape key or Control-Alt-Delete. But yeah, it's perfectly harmless. It's not a malware thing, unless someone else is leveraging off that screensaver in order to try and get you to purchase their useless antivirus program. Anyway, loving the show. Good tuning in, listen to it live. Keep up the good work. Cheers.
Okay, thanks, Colin. Thanks for leaving that message. And then I actually realized as I was listening to Colin's message, Mark